Hello everyone, this is Latha Akula. In this video we are going to study about another cell organelle called as plastids. Here, to see the plastids, these are the cell organelles present only in the photosynthetic organisms. Photosynthetic organisms means what? The organisms which perform photosynthesis, that is nothing but the plant cells. And these plastids were absent in the animal cells. So these plastids were present in the plants and euglenoids. Euglenoids also perform the photosynthesis. Hence, these plastids were present in the plants and euglenoids. And these plastids were large in size and can be seen under the light microscope also. And there are two types of plastids. They were chromoplast and a leukoplast. And the chromoplast, they were colored plastids. They consist of colored pigments, hence they were called as colored plastids. And whereas the leukoplasts, they were colorless or white in color. So these plastids were white or colorless. And if you see the chromoplasts, some of the chromoplasts, they have a green colored pigment which is called as chlorophyll pigment. Some of the chromoplasts, they consist of the green colored pigment which is generally seen in the green plants, that is the green colored pigment chlorophyll. And the plastids which contain the chlorophyll pigment were called as chloroplasts. And here, by means of this chloroplast only, the green colored plants are able to perform photosynthesis process and make their own food material. And some other chloroplasts, they were yellow color and orange color also. And here if you see the leukoplasts are colorless plastids, they store starch, oil and protein granules. They mainly helpful in the storing the oil, starch and protein granules. And if you see the structure of a chloroplast, so this chloroplast shape and structure that may vary in different euglenas and in plants also. Some are oval shape, some are in disc shape, some are cup shape and some are in ribbon shape. Generally in green plants, the chloroplast structure is in disc shape. And this disc shaped chloroplast, like mitochondria, it is also a double membrane structure which consists of two membranes. Two layers are present. One is outer layer and another one is the inner layer. Outer layer and inner layers were present and hence it is the double membrane structure. And here inside the inner membrane there is a fluid filled matrix is present. That fluid filled matrix is called as stroma. This is called as stroma. And within the stroma there are several flattened structures were present. There are several flattened structures are present which are called as thylakoids. These red colored ones individually they are called as thylakoids. And these thylakoids, so see, these are flattened structures were called as thylakoid. This is a thylakoid. And these thylakoids, they are arranged one above the other in the form of stacks or piles of coins. And these group of thylakoids, they were called as granum. See here, these thylakoids, they are arranged one above the other and form a structure called as granum. And these granum structures, they have been interconnected by means of a tube-like structures called as stroma lamella. See these are the stroma lamella. Okay, and here within the stroma there are several enzymes for synthesis of carbohydrates, proteins were present. The enzymes for the synthesis of carbohydrates and proteins were present in the stroma. In addition to this, they also consist of double-stranded DNA and ribosomes were also present in the stroma. Whereas the photosynthetic pigments were present in the thylakoids. And this is about the plastids. In this video we are going to study about another cell organelle, vacuole. So these vacuoles are otherwise called as storage sacs. What they store? They store several liquid or solid contents inside the membrane. So these are membrane bound cell organelles and the membrane of the vacuole was called tonoplast. What is the name of the membrane of the vacuole was called? It is called as tonoplast. And here these vacuoles, they are present both in plants and animals also. But the animal cells, they have a small sized vacuoles when compared to the plant cells. This is the plant cell. See how much big size it is. So in plants, the size of the vacuole is large and nearly it may occupies more than 30% of the cell volume. But in sometimes they may occupy 50 to 90% of the cell also, and they may push all the cell organelles into a corner, and that will occupy the maximum space. And here these vacuoles, they were filled with cell sap. What is present inside the vacuole? There is cell sap is present, which is nothing but water, a liquid, a fluid content was present, and that water consists of organic and inorganic molecules, several enzymes, and engulfed solids are present, and waste materials of the cell were also present in the vacuole. So what are the contents of the vacuole? The fluid content present inside the vacuole is called as cell sap, which consists of water, organic and inorganic molecules, several enzymes, waste materials, and some of the engulfed solids were present. And here the function of this vacuole is it maintains some internal pressure. It creates a pressure inside the cell. That pressure is called as Stargardt pressure. And here it maintains the turgidity and rigidity of the cell. The rigidity of the cell is maintained by this vacuole. And here these in addition to these organic molecules, they also contain some proteins are also present. And if you see in some unicellular organisms like amoeba, there is a food vacuole is present. The food vacuole, it consists of digested food material. What it consists of? The digested food material is present inside the food vacuole. And in some unicellular organisms like paramecium, they consist of the vacuoles for expelling the excess water and excretory waste materials. By means of these vacuoles, they will send out the excess water and waste materials from the cell also. This is about vacuole. So what is the membrane structure of the vacuole is called? The membrane bound structure of the vacuole, the name of the membrane is called as chromoplast. It occupies nearly 30% of the cell volume, and it maintains turgidity and rigidity of cell. So with this we have completed the vacuole.